All right. I don't know what's going on with this. I have to just reschedule this or re-examine this or redesign this live. What's up, y'all? I'm sorry. I'm probably over here smacking in your mouth. I mean, in your ear. What's good? All right, look. You got two Browns, Jen Brown and Audrey Brown. What's up? Appreciate y'all. What's these crowns? Oh, it's a community thing. That's what's up. That's new. Okay, community leaders. We got Karen Bond and Audrey Brown and Jen Brown. Welcome, y'all. Appreciate it. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's going on? What is going on? It's a lot going on. I initially said, let me pop it off by clowning a few people because you know I look at like a bunch of stuff that's going on right now and just how desperate people are on YouTube. And thank you, Jim Brown. What's up, Patricia Blair? This is how I would prefer to dress every day. You know, you know. But they not calling me for these CEO positions. Like, and then I have to just create the position. Yeah. How about this, y'all? If you're donating to someone on YouTube and you cash apping them every day, and you continuously do that. Right now, how many Gen Xers we got in the building, right? Gen Xers, you was born between 1965 and 1980. And even after that, you probably know what I'm talking about. There used to be these winos, and no Tasha K, right? These winos that would sit in front of the liquor store and beg for money. And if you really wanted to just get a good story out of them, you would sit and say, hey, Freddie, it's $2. He go get some Thunderbird. I saw a commercial for Thunderbird and some grapefruit juice. I said, oh, they were getting lit back in the day. They were drinking Thunderbird and grapefruit juice. That's why so many people had cirrhosis of the liver and went away. But yeah, look, if you really wanted to you wanted to do story time. If you want to do some real story time, speaking of story time, baby girl is here. Is you gonna cam up? You ain't got to.
Hold on a second. Give
You
me
ain't
a
got to cam
moment.
up. You ain't got to cam up, dear. Don't worry about it. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm I'm good and doing and getting better. I'll just say it like that.
Well, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. I'll say what's up to Jaguar, right? I
Hey,
what's up,
everybody. I'll
Franca?
be there shortly.
Yeah, yeah. Don't trip. You ain't even got to cam up. Don't trip. Just do what you got to do. Um, I was just telling the people here, look, today's the equivalent of like what we used to do back in the day. Jag, I know you remember the corner bum, the corner wino, right?
Mm-hmm.
He'd be sitting on the corner begging for change to get his next wine or wine or whatever beer, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I made the equivalent. I said today's equivalent of like going up to that, Freddie the wino on the corner, and if you really wanted to have some story time, you would sit down and be like, "Yo, Freddie, yeah, here's a few bucks. Tell me about in the 1930s when you came up." And he'll get his Thunderbird and be like, "Oh yeah, in the 1940s, 1930s, I remember the T-450s rolling down the street, blah blah blah." Like, he start telling you, and you be, "Oh, tell me more, Freddie." So you go, "Here, go get another thing of Thunderbird," and that's the equivalent right now. That's the equivalent today is like you going to someone's channel who obviously looks inebriated and probably on some other substances, and you just continuously giving them cash app, and they say make it Wayne or something, or, "Oh, thanks for the cash app," right? Or you donating, right? Like that's the equivalent of you going to the corner wino, the corner bum, and being like, "Yo, tell me about your life. Tell me about your life story." You agree or disagree?
Oh no, I'm enjoying your analogy. It's just reminding me of fine days in the hood.
Yeah. What up, Jamie Zach? Cats in the building. Nick, what's up, Nick?
Hey
Auntie Leah in
family.
the house. Shadow Jackson. Yeah, see, today you ain't got to go to the corner. And plus, the winos are all, you don't really see winos anymore. Just like you really don't see crackheads anymore. They're out there, though, but you don't really see crackheads in the hood no more. Like, I
No,
know
the
that one joke, they
crackhead
be like,
watching has depleted quite a bit over the
well, they
years.
all
I
been
think they're all
concentrated.
online.
Well, that part, or the real life crackheads have been concentrated to places like Skid Row or YouTube.
That too.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
too.
yeah. There's a few content creators where I'm like, what is your purpose? What do you do here? So I'm not on no, I don't try to be on nobody's jock like that, but um, I'll say shout out to Miss Lowdown because at least she's someone that and y'all know you shouted her out, but she's someone who I see a link now. I see a video of her now. Oh, okay, I'll click and listen because she's credible, right?
For the most part, as much as any YouTuber can be.
Okay, Gene Deal, same thing. If I'm gonna listen to someone, I listen to Gene. Like, oh, okay, Gene ain't finna put no bullshit on his name. So
I
shout out to Gene. Shout out to
and shout
Paperwork
out to
too.
Gene. And shout out to Gene for like taking that stray like such a G.
Right,
Cause that was a
right.
whole stray. That was a whole stray. And I don't
Hmm.
know, for me it's just like watching all of it go down. It's hard not to look at YouTube with a side eye. I don't know how
Yeah,
anyone can credibly not look at YouTube with a side eye. It's when you have people like there's somebody, I'm not even going to mention the name, but they were literally sitting there. They're going back and forth with trolls. They used to sit with us, but now they're in a war with the troll, and all of the ammunition that they're using to go after the trolls had either your name around it or my name around it. And I'm like, and you need to be worried about what they're saying about you. No one's saying anything about anyone.
right,
And
right,
it's wild how people have gotten so used to misusing people's names, lying on people's names, capping on people's names, impersonating people. Like it's just gotten to the point now where I don't know how any of the people that are there take it seriously.
right.
Like you said, what's the point? You better all go into Jocko, crackhead mechanic who knows how to
Right,
fix your transmission with a
right.
straight pin and some old rubber bands.
With some duct tape and some crazy glue. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Actually, Gorilla Glue now.
Gorilla.
Courage the
Okay.
Clear has been
Gorilla Glue.
officially retired.
Shoot, even the crackheads who remember that Divine Brown. Uh, was that her? Yeah, Divine Brown. Ain't nobody got time for that. Remember her?
Oh, you talking
I
about
just
Sweet Brown?
not the yeah. Was her name Divine Brown? No,
Sweet
not Divine
Brown.
Brown. That's the Sweet Brown. Divine Brown's the hooker that Hugh Grant got caught with.
Well, both viral sensations.
But Sweet Brown, I just saw a picture of her on Facebook. She even cleaned her life up, and she like X amount of years clean. I'm like, oh, congratulations. No,
Listen to me, that was one of my favorite monologues when it first hit. And then when I seen that Tyler Perry was talking about putting her in one of his Medea movies, I said, see, that's the end of it for her.
then jump the damn shark. Then
I
jump
said,
the
well,
shark. Speaking of jumping the shark, and speaking of jumping the shark, because you kind of mentioned the thing with Gene, and I was gonna tie it in. I'm gonna do a double, right? So shout out to Gene because I was listening to him yesterday, and he was saying how he's taking this whole he's going to take this YouTube stuff offline. So I'm gonna get in contact with him because you already know that we already been working on something and we got some. You already know, right?
I
So
know. But the
shout
truth
out to
is,
him.
I think it's time that people like us in our positions work together like the enemies are working together. Welcome, Nikki.
Exactly.
Welcome to the West Side.
Appreciate you, Nicholas. Nikki. Yeah.
But
So
it's it's the thing for me that I think I'm having the biggest problem with is people really don't listen. They literally only listen for what they want to hear. They don't really listen anymore. People don't pay
no,
attention. They
no,
listen, and I think it's because of technology. I think technology has gotten people so used to just consuming bite sizes of information that that's really all people are trained to listen to or listen for anymore.
yeah, yeah.
People are they're he said what? The whole sentence might say, this is a perfect
They get
example. Huh?
they get a little snap bite.
So like the whole sentence would say, there is a possibility that if the charges don't go through, President Trump is going to pardon Diddy.
I
Like,
saw that.
you know what
I
I
saw
mean?
that.
Like people say stuff like that, and then the next thing you know, there's 80 thumbnails. Trump's gonna give Diddy a pardon. All they heard was Diddy, Trump, pardon. That's all they needed
Yep.
was those three words, and then
Yep.
whoop whoop de woo. They're moving, they're grooving, they're doing what they're doing. Let me see if I can find another backdrop. But it's well, I don't want to
I like that
continue.
drop.
You like the back? I can leave it up.
Hmm. No, go ahead and switch it. It's cool because it's confusing. I'm saying I like that picture. You know,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but go ahead.
Then
You can switch it up.
let's see if we can find a little shade under the palm tree.
Oh, there we go. Under the tree, huh? Remember
Yeah,
that?
under the
Under
tree.
the tree. Remember that?
Yeah, under the
They gon'
tree.
they gon' hmm I just hope they remember that.
uh,
Shoe program.
you want to know
Shoe
what's funny?
program.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know where that came from?
You told me.
You
I
know the
forgot though, but you
original
told me.
under the tree?
You told me. I forgot.
Yeah, it's forgettable. At least that's what I would want for it to be. But no, I mean, it's
Hmm.
just people really, they really go too far, and we got to find a way to just like, we have to learn how to turn off. We do. We have to learn how to turn off, but we also need to learn how to turn up when it's right.
Oh yeah. Oh
Turning
yeah.
up is always good, but it's got to be at the right time and for the right reason.
Right. Yeah. But that's what they're afraid of because I come from a city where I hate to say it, Rodney King didn't even. He just got stomped out real bad. We turned this mother up. Rodney King didn't even get unalive. But what did
Uh,
we do? Oh, I mean, it was a multiple. It was a bunch of things. It was the Natasha Harlins, her, that Korean lady doing that, and it just was like, come on,
he was the straw that broke the camel's back.
man. No, the the jury getting those cops off
I
was
know.
the.
That
I
was the
wonder.
that's what we call the pistol starter.
I wonder what moment will be like that for this generation, because I don't know. Everybody's so damn complacent. People scared. I get it, the technology, I get it, but let me tell you one thing. One of our elders said, Baba Steve Coakley. He said, we got the advantage at night. I just want y'all to know that. Any youngsters, we got the advantage at night. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we don't have that moment. Like, I don't know if we're gonna have that moment. It's just a lot of fuckery going on, and everybody's just kind of, hey,
Well,
it's
that's the thing.
acceptable.
People are so easily distracted.
Right.
People are so easily distracted. The truth is, the only reason that the George Floyd story probably got the attention that it got was because it happened during the pandemic. People were forced to be home. People had nothing else to do. There was no work. There was no school. Everyone, if life had been normal and that had happened, would we really have heard about it?
Nope. Um, speaking of, there was a Joey Badass movie that I just happened to see. Side note, kind of, but it's along the same, right?
Yeah.
Two Different Strangers, right? It came out some years ago. um Netflix. It was a Netflix thing. So if you look it up, it's called Two Distant Strangers, right?
Hmm.
So the premise, it's a short basically. The premise is like Joey Badass plays this like nerdy black boy kid, and he just leaving a one night stand of the apartment of some little chick, little cute chick or whatever, and then he steps outside, and then he gets into an altercation with this racist uh cop, right? And the cop unalives him, and Joey Badass wakes back up, and it's like a nightmare. He woke back up in the bed, and he's going through the motions again throughout the day, and it's like deja vu. He's like, wait, I know you're gonna say it. So every time he goes downstairs, that cop comes in and unalives him, right?
Hmm. That's like a
So it just
bad
keeps
version of
happening.
Groundhog's Day.
Right, right. But look, it just keep happening, keep happening, right? And then he decides one day, I'm gonna talk to the guy and try to reason with him.
Hmm.
Um, And the day that he got throughout the whole day, because he was reasoning with the guy, he got to know him. It happened like 100 times. And he's like, I know this guy now. I'm going to talk to him about his life, blah, blah, blah. And then in the end, the guy, spoiler alert, the damn cop still unalives him. Like, he's like, he makes it look like you're home free. You let him go. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah,
That
nice meeting
just
you, nice talking to you.
Who wrote that?
Right. Like, subliminally, what does it say? What does it say? Subliminally, what does
Oh
it say?
no. I can think of three things that it says loud. Number one, as long as you're black, you're always going to be running from something. That's the first thing. That's what I heard. That's the first thing it screamed to me. The second thing it
Mm-hmm.
said to me is that it doesn't matter how fast you try to run, this is going to be your outcome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But the last thing is, even if you choose the path of peace, you will be met with aggression regardless. It's terrible.
Yeah. See, and they're not talking about Rodney Hinton. People ain't really talking about that. That Rodney Hinton, the junior. I think he ended up. No, what happened? I think Rodney Hinton.
Educate us because everybody might not know what you're talking about.
Okay, so let me just so I'm not spreading false information. Give me 1 second. And
Yes,
plus, I
we
gotta
don't
tap
want to
back.
do, there's enough of that going on.
Oh, of course, of course. See, it's our responsibility to tell the real deal. But Rodney Hinton in Ohio, he was unalived by some deputies, and then his dad came and his dad came after them cops like yes they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell type of spirit.
Samuel
You get what I'm
L.
saying?
all the way.
Right. I mean that's essentially the gist of the story though. But yeah, see, they're not talking about that. Even the whole thing with the brothers being in New Orleans, them escaping.
That story has been very like it was, and then it was.
Right. But I think they caught nine, and I think two are still on the run. I did a thing about Vlad saying, "Hey, you guys are going to get caught anyway, so why don't you let me interview you?" Which it's like, Vlad, shut the fuck up. And
You
then,
know what? I like that idea.
you like that idea for Vlad to interview them?
Yeah, because it's reminding me of a movie that I watched when I was coming up. And the movie, it natural born unalivers. What was it? What's her name? She was, oh, why can't I remember her name now? And she was
Dang, this is my son. But it was
you
Willie Harrelson and
Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis.
mhm.
For whatever reason, Julianne Moore just keep dropping in my mind, but Juliette Lewis, I believe it was, and she's had a interesting career. She's always chosen quirky parts, but that movie, and just when the second that you said it, it made me think of the movie because Robert Downey Jr.'s character was a scumbag
Mhm. Mhm.
journalist, kind of
Mhm.
like Vlad, but
Almost like a Piers Morgan and Vlad, like a Piers Morgan and
Piers
Vlad, like
Morgan Black, but packaged as current affair.
right, right.
And, and so they took all of and that's the other thing that I love about Robert Downey Jr. Like that, and what was it, Tropical Thunder, when he was the
Yeah,
white man,
yeah. He
the
was a
the
black
white
guy.
black British man. Remember, he was really British at the end. They found out, and Robert Downey always salute to Robert Downey Jr. Thank God he survived Hollywood. So
He used to be in the crack houses in the hood.
yeah, I
Like
know.
they would find him in the crack houses on
Listen
Crenshaw.
to me. Listen to me. He wasn't alone. He wasn't alone, and there were
I ain't gonna
other
even go there.
Hollywood actors.
See, I ain't gonna even go there. Look, back in the day, I ain't gonna go there.
But anyway, though, yeah, we could talk about Blair Underwood on that 10 speed, riding down around. But anyway, those were
We
hard
can talk
times.
about Larry Fishburne running up in a gay club looking for somebody, but I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there.
I look, we ain't the ones to gossip, so you ain't hearing from us.
Well,
But but what I was saying is that in the movie, he played the character Wayne Gale.
hmm
And Wayne Gale decided after Mickey and Mallory got caught that he was going to interview them, and it was going to be huge and it was going to be big, and they were going to take them out after the interview. They had this whole big plan, and then they turned that thing upside down on their head. And they did do the interview. He did get his one-on-one
right,
interview with them,
right,
and then they unalived him.
yeah,
And he said,
yeah,
but wait a minute, doesn't Mickey and Mallory always leave someone to tell the tale? There's no one
right.
here but me. Come on, guys. We could go big. We could be bigger than anything. And it's just, I don't know. I want to watch that movie again and just think of Vlad.
Yeah, that would if they were to get a hold of Vlad, and that would have been the end. And okay, I see. Go ahead, and make that happen. But look, the spirit of them. See, really, I think people need to pay attention. The system that they used to call, what they called it, white supremacy. I never called it. It's white terror domination, white inferior. That system is done. That's why Trump. Let's get back to Trump. That's
Mm,
why Trump. That's why look at Macron, the French president. Or what is it, Canadian? No, he's the French president, right? Um, even Putin. Like these people are realizing that they're done. Global white terror domination is done. Where we're at, North America, that's tribal land. That's us. So keep playing. See, that's why they do what they do. They propagate the image of a black death and this and that, because it's now a mental thing. It's a mind thing. So let me put it back on Trump. Like you said, even before Trump said what he said, because he said that what today about. Go ahead, fill us in with what Trump had said.
Well, for me, if I'm going to see 25 thumbnails pop up within 15 minutes of each other saying that Trump is going to pardon Diddy, I need to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Right,
So I went and I looked at what he said. And he didn't say he was going to pardon Diddy. Matter of fact, it was what he did say about Diddy that I thought it was interesting no one talked about. First things first, he got ambushed with the question in the Oval. He wasn't really talking about these issues at all. He was talking about government things. So
yeah,
I want to find out who that guy was, that reporter, and what network that he came from, because he made sure that he got the Diddy question in there.
right.
And he said, is there any possibility of you pardoning Diddy? And we know you guys go back and you used to be friends, whoop, 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 whoop. And Trump made it very clear. Yeah, once upon a time they were cool. But then the second he went into politics, the diddler flipped on him. Started, icing him out. As people are finding out he's very capable of doing. And more importantly than that, he started taking shots at him.
Mm,
So, considering that him and all of his friends were promoting the DNC, I thought that it was interesting that nobody heard him say that. But he also cleaned it up by saying that whether I like you or not, if you're getting jammed up, yeah, I'm going to help because I don't want to see people get bullied and abused. And
yeah,
that doesn't say that he's pardoning Diddy. It doesn't say that at all. What it says is, just like he commuted Larry Hoover's sentence, just like he just pardoned NBA YoungBoy. He's choosing what he wants to do. I don't think he was fans of any of these people.
no,
So
no,
once again, if he's not fans of them and he pardoned them, that's him just being honest about it. But I do like the vagueness because if it's that little blurb from him in the Oval, it's kind of like a Rorschach test right now.
yeah,
The question is when everyone else looks at it, what do you see? What did you hear? What I
right,
heard was a very, very, very smart politician pivot on a question that was meant to be an ambush.
right, yeah,
But it's just all of the hope that came from just hearing Trump, Diddy, and Pardon all in the same sentence. And everybody, oh my God, oh my God, oh my
they took the little
God.
sound bite. They took the sound bite and ran with it.
What's
Because
he supposed to
shout out,
say? Oh yeah, I'm gonna let him throw the book at the diddler. I'm gonna let him do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no party for him. He's gonna rot in jail. He turned on me. He did this. He did that. Now, see, this is the problem. If he had have done that, let's just say that was his response.
hmm,
For whatever enemies are working within our State Department still, that were working for
yeah,
the agenda that brought our country to this pass, it would kind of let them know, hey, you better work faster, you better clean it up
right,
faster.
right.
If he does that, and if he says nothing and avoids it, then people just make their own assumption and say, oh, well, he's definitely not. Well, it was smart. It was the smart call,
Look, he's
in my
over
opinion.
the he's over the executive branch of the government. There's three branches of the government, y'all: executive, judicial, and legislative. Right, the ones who write it, the ones who execute it, the ones who. So come on, y'all. If y'all don't know civics, go back to school and learn that. Right. Um, Trump obviously is a chess player. I'll say it like that. I find it funny that, well, number one, Diddy is has been a Democratic shield for
Ever.
as long as we the vote or die. Remember that? I was like, come on, man, what? That
All
was all. That was a Democratic
Democrats.
shield thing, right? Um, then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks back, Obama's name was mentioned in the Diddy case. Don't get it twisted. Obama's third term was that last term that happened after Trump. If y'all really want to, really talk politics. Um, and Obama was trying to make this. He was like, don't get it twisted. Don't think that these politicians all hate each other. They're all cool. They kick it. They party. Don't get it twisted.
That's
They
the
kick it.
problem. No, but that's the problem with politics. Politics ain't no different than YouTube.
Right, right.
Like, for
So
instance, let's explain how it works.
go ahead.
Republicans, Democrats, and then you have all of the other little parties that everyone pretends like don't exist anyway. But you got Republican, you got Democrat. Now, at the public, when we're looking at the news, they're debating, they're going back and forth. They got us believing that they don't bang with each other, that they don't know
Right,
each other. It's all controlled opposition.
right,
It's all controlled opposition. It should prove
right.
to you that, you know what should have proved to us that it was controlled opposition when all of the people that were supporting Trump after January 6th turned on him the second that they realized that he was about to get screwed over.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like, if this was real, your party wouldn't be picking you up and dropping you off like a OnlyFans model.
Hold on. Philly 2-1 box that I fuck with Jaguar, but a headband and a suit is diabolical. You know what? This is
Unfit.
look. Well,
I
hold on. Let me hold on. Like how Ray J try to have this little shit. I'm gonna do my thing. Like, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wolf Burgundy, and I don't give a fuck what you got to say. I don't give a fuck what you got. This is me. You can't beat me in real life. Now back to you, Jaguar.
so anyway. Like, I've been trying to work on this new thing. I'm so used to having a members only platform now and only having my members in the chat that I have to remember to pretend this is a members only chat and just ignore it.
He said, "Do you think AI?" They call me Allen. I get Allen Iverson. I get Exhibit. I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I don't trip off of them. Shout out. No, don't. Auntie Leah, he's
It's just
fine.
300 seconds.
It's,
It's just a
it's just
warning.
you cool, Philly. You can because you are when I start bagging on you and I start talking about your mama. Don't get mad. But go ahead. Go ahead. It's all jokes. I ain't mad at him. But no, Jag is used to the members only, so I'm here for the smoke. Go ahead. I like getting
Well,
clowned. I'm used
I
to getting
try to
clowned.
stay away from the smoke because I'm the fire.
Right. Well, as you should. But yeah, this gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna be Wolf Burgundy, right? I'm gonna come with a headband. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Listen to me.
You
You can
gonna
be
come with a
Wolf
suit.
Burgundy. You can be Wolf Cabernet. See, that's the beautiful thing. You're on YouTube. You can be anything you want to be.
Like most of these damn crackhead YouTubers, exactly. Hello everyone! Hello everyone!
Let me sit here with
Yo,
35 people and pretend I know how to do Diddy content.
let me talk about the same subject for 35 weeks straight. Let me talk about the same person for 35 weeks straight. I'm coming after you. I'm against racism, but I have racists on my platform.
You want to know what I don't understand? When did appearance become the most important thing in communication?
I think it's always been important,
Really?
right?
I
Right.
don't know because we followed a lot of ugly people who were really smart throughout the years, who didn't know how
Like
to
who?
dress, who had look at some of our you go back in the 80s, bad
Who?
hair, weird clothes, odd colors. People was doing all kinds of stuff. If you go back to the
If
60s and the 70s, half of them,
well, I was gonna say the only person because I'm looking at Channel 7 right now. When I was little, it was a weatherman. If you're from LA, how many of y'all from LA know about George Fishback, right? That fucker had these goofy glasses on. He looked like Mr. Magoo, And he'll tell you the way. He'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna rain tomorrow," and it'll be sunny. Like like what's that one joint where Outkast said, "Weatherman telling us it ain't gonna rain," so like like that was George Fishback, and he was crazy looking in the mud and tell you the weather and be like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna snow tomorrow." And it'd be hot in the mud. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I can't think of nobody where it's like if they were not attractive. Well, no, I guess back in the day, you're right. If they didn't have to be attractive, yeah,
It didn't used to be about that. It didn't used to be about what you wore or what you dress. Like none of that stuff. It was about your information, how you presented yourself, and how you dealt with people. So it's just funny. Like everyone, want to jump into people's chat. Oh, what are you wearing? See? This is the thing. I'm wearing it. That's the thing.
enough said. Enough said.
I'm wearing it. So if I'm wearing it, then it must mean I'm okay with it. So if I'm okay with it, why is it bothering you? Like if I want
That
to walk around in a Barney sweatsuit wearing LA, what was it? The LA gears that lit up.
damn, some LA gears. Oh
Like
God,
if I
LA
decide
gears.
to me, what makes a person dope is the person that could put that on and make it hot. I used to
Shut up.
what was that saying that they used to have? Clothes don't make the man make the clothes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Corey Holcomb's a perfect example of that. And nigga Corey Holcomb be dressing like a straight like 5150. That's why his name is. That's why he got the 5150 show. Shout out to Corey Holcomb.
No, but just listen to me. That brother, and guess what? He comes in all of his. When I think of Corey and the way he dresses, it reminds me of a '70s black exploitation film.
But that's part of his thing. Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
think
Like,
so.
I think
Yeah,
it's like a stick. It's like, oh
yeah,
crap, Dolomite showed up. And I like that. No,
yeah,
but that's the thing. People used to have character. People used to have identity. Even David Letterman, with all of the money that he made, all of he wore sneakers.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He wore
Speaking of,
sneakers.
and people who are not, who are going against the grain. I played this video. I played a song earlier in the show yesterday. Little Tecca, he's from New York.
Mm,
He's been doing this thing since about what, like 16. So, and he's like 22 now. He's one of them cats. So I'm like, okay. I wouldn't. I heard that beat. I'm like, oh, this is a West Coast dude. He sound like who's that one dude? Uh, Casey Veggies. Uh, he kind of had that sound, the beat wise, but he's a young cat out there right now that he's doing his own thing, got his own style, got his own, whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah, shout out to him. But we got to start saluting people who are forward, like just doing their thing, like quit following the herd type of
individuals.
deal.
Individuals. Weird Al Yankovic sold more records than a lot of pop culture artists. Like you'd
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
surprised if you looked at Weird Al. And Weird Al had his own thing going on. Like, what happened to the days? I remember when the Humpty Dance came out. We loved Humpty. And what nobody
Rest in
talking
peace.
about, he's not wearing Balenciaga.
Rest in peace to Shock G, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
weird he's gone, isn't it?
yeah, man. That's crazy. But okay, let's run it back, right?
Let's run it back.
I brought up Trump. I brought up the situation with Diddy. You expanded on it, and the reason why I even said all that is just to say, because I found it weird. I hit YouTube and I just see Trump pardoned Diddy. I even shout out to Thought Crimes. They had a video and they said Diddy pardons Trump. I was like, wait, and this was I swear to God, I was like, wait, what's going on? Everybody, I know how TikTok works now, where they will give you suggestions in regards to like what topics you should talk about. So I'm like, is I guess that's the same thing going on with YouTube right now. Everybody is Diddy pardon Trump, but ain't nobody talking about what Suge said last night. Not a lot of people are talking about it because
No,
um,
no. Most
Suge
people are they're staying away from it. But this is the thing.
Suge dropped a bomb.
You want to remind them?
I mean, if they didn't see, I'm pretty sure. No, in that video shot. Thank you for being on my channel. They say I don't get no views unless you're on. But you yesterday that video, the yesterday that video that we did, and that was kind of like last minute. And I kind of was like, yeah, we should, because I've been waiting on Suge to say that, but Suge basically went on. Y'all can look at the video yesterday. Suge told on everybody.
Everybody.
Ray J. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, Bad Boy staff, Bad Boy as a record label producer, like he talked about everybody. Reggie Wright, of course,
You
and
want
Reggie
to
then
know what?
came back, of course.
But wait a minute. See, look, somebody just put a comment up on my channel. Trump pardon with the scary face, and that's
Oh,
why
hold
they're
on,
doing it.
y'all look, Neck in the West, y'all go hit his page and let everybody and tell them, y'all hit his page and say
Impersonation.
impersonation because he's using my registered logo and I've already reported him. So go ahead, get the neck out of here. Go ahead. These
What in the
people are,
neck? How about that? What in the neck
no,
is
he
that?
got booted out. Next, nigga. Next.
Next.
Next, nigga.
But
You bitch motherfucker.
no, the one thing that I don't think that anybody was paying attention to, and this kind of ties back into Gene. Everyone heard what Suge had to say and talking about Gene and Reggie being good friends.
Hmm.
And Gene made it very clear when he became affiliated with Reggie, and it wasn't so long after that whole time. The
Yeah.
thing is I believe Suge and I believe Gene. But see, once again, this is when it comes to listening. And this is why I say I don't think everyone was really listening. What Suge actually said was Reggie Wright said
Said it. He
him
said it.
and Gene had been friends all along.
Yeah.
Reggie said that. Suge
Yeah.
didn't say
Not should didn't say it right.
Suge didn't say that he had knowledge or had evidence that they had been in collusion. No. What he did was it was a very Jaguar right thing to do. He threw a snowball in the hell to see how fast it was going to melt.
Yeah.
Because, see, him saying that forced Gene in a position to have to explain himself. And now, just in case Suge wasn't sure, he should be very sure now that the
Mm.
information about the so called collusion between him and Gene Deal came from Reggie Wright Jr.
Mm.
Boom. I'm a
Now
smart girl.
this makes me think. Trump saying that about Diddy today. What Suge said, been saying for a few days. Come on now. Like and Suge said it. There's law enforcement involved in all this, and we all know this. And it's deeper. We got the PDF people. It's deep. Like y'all, but man,
The
it's
truth
about to
is
go
this
down.
thing
That's
is
all I gotta say.
ugly. No, the truth is this thing is ugly. It is ugly, and everyone is clamoring. I find it interesting now that in the midst of all of this, now the whole Desiree Perez thing and her daughter
I was about
and
to
her
say that.
husband coming forward, like,
I was about to say that.
see,
Yeah,
this is the
and
thing.
then
You're dealing with a liar. And you think they're a liar and you know that they've been lying to you and you can't prove it. The only way you're going to get the truth out of them is if you force the truth out. Suge saying that thing about Gene and Reggie, that was information mining gold because now
yeah,
Suge know.
yep. See, Suge knows so much. He knows so much, and he's using all that knowledge that he knows. It's like when you're in court, and if they got you on the witness stand, right, and they try to get you to say something that they already know the answer to. I mean, you got to be smart, right? But Suge knows the answer, and he's like, okay, all right. So he threw it out there. But that's why I said, look,
You got to
I
beat
wouldn't
the
be
grass
surprised.
sometimes
Right,
to find out where the snakes are.
I wouldn't be surprised if Diddy tries to like what they well, he may try to say, hey, I'll take a deal type of situation. It's probably too late, but I don't know this, but like you say, it's just going to get real interesting for the next couple of weeks.
See, this is the
That's
thing.
really all I got to say.
He should have took the deal when they offered it to him.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
know who else got offered a deal like Diddy got offered before their trial and said no?
R. Kelly, R. Kelly.
Not just no. Eligio Bishop, Nature Boy.
Oh, his dumb ass. Yeah, yeah.
And you see what
Okay.
happened to him? He got
Well,
life.
oh well, oh well.
So
Yeah,
I
because
think
they
Jag.
already had what they had on them. They already had what they had on him. Like he was just the dumbest, goofiest. Well, that's a whole nother conversation. I don't even want to.
Yeah, but the
That ain't
thing
my
is,
realm.
how is his behavior any different than the diddlers?
Well, Diddy and Nature Boy are both cocky. That part.
The only difference
And
is Diddy had better government contacts and he was well funded.
mhm, right. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting time. Of course, I don't think Trump would give Diddy a pardon. That's just why would you? I wouldn't even. That's not even going to be a subject line of mine.
Well, see, this is the thing. We actually know people that are associated. We know what's being said. And the thing is, people keep overlooking the fact because of all of the fake news and all of the shadow bananing with real information. They had no idea that during Trump's last administration, before Biden and them got back in there to work the Obama agenda to keep that going, he was going heavy after human teleporting, child teleporting, and crimes against humanity, especially for Americans. But they quieted all of that up.
Yep.
So my question is, if that was his agenda the last time he got interrupted and he came back, what would make anybody think that he's going to be interested in pardoning anyone that goes and falls right in line, or at least allegedly falls right in line with the agenda in which he's after? And I'm telling you right now, Liz Crokin, she is on fire, and she wants the Diddy's gone and the J. We all want them gone. But we have to take into consideration that it's not just our government that we're looking at. We're looking at what they know as a shadow government.
Hmm.
And see, a
Hmm.
shadow government doesn't operate under the same rules of regular government. These are people that are working within our system to corrupt it from all sides of the field. It's no
Yeah.
different than the troll farm here on YouTube. You got a bunch of, I want y'all to think about this. That's who the shadow government is in our American government. We have our government, our people who are earnestly there to do what they're doing, and then they got their own troll farm.
Yeah.
And just like here on YouTube, some of the trolls get along, some of the trolls pretend they hate each other. Some of the trolls pretend they don't even know each other, but they're all working a secret agenda in the background. And that's the same thing that shadow government is doing, in my opinion, allegedly, my own opinion,
Hmm.
what's been going on now. So if you bring in a, like a heavy gunner like Cash Patel, you got this administration back in office. What they have to do is make sure that whatever measures they take don't completely destroy what structure we have while they're trying to save it. This is not going to be easy. Now, I
Yeah.
know why everybody's looking for an easy way out. It wasn't an easy way in, and it was a long time in the making. I mean, what do you think?
Gotta gotta let the process happen. Again, I am not a Trump supporter, but I definitely understand when it's time to produce justice. He said it. He said if someone's getting jammed, because he knows if someone is getting done wrong, he's gonna produce justice. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If
Oh,
the even thing with Diddy and Jag, don't say anything because you didn't already said enough about the Diddy stuff, right? There's no need for you. You're vindicated. Like I don't care what anybody say. You ain't got to say what you think the outcome's gonna be. It don't matter, right?
I know
But
what I'm
justice
looking
is
for, and
being
that's all
produced.
I'm concerned with.
Yeah, Yeah, justice is being produced. That's pretty much what's going on. I know people are like, oh, well, Diddy, they're talking about period blood. Like, I guess that's the whole thing now. I got to do the whole, like, what happened, because I've been so busy taking care of other stuff today. I got to go do the whole transcripts and see what they're talking about today. But I know that's like the thing. They're like, oh, uh, Diddy's going to get off because they're talking about period blood. I mean,
What I find
the
funny
feds are
is that
not.
every time they come with one of these headlines, something real, catastrophic happened in that courtroom. That's the other thing that I'm noticing. Just like when we were there for work, when we were filming, and all of the pomp and circumstance and all of the stuff that they were saying that it really wasn't that. And I'm telling y'all right now, whatever hoopla y'all see going on out there, I'm telling you, it's orchestrated. It's all orchestrated to make people react, to keep you engaged, to keep you distracted. This is how magicians work, the art of distraction. The question is, while you're looking at that, what are they distracting you from?
Yeah. Thank you, Auntie Leah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Monica.
See what they're doing, and this is all going to come back full circle on the Great Camel with this Desiree Perez situation, the Meg the Stallion thing, um, the Tory Lanez, what they tried to do to Tory Lane. I mean,
DJ.
man, all y'all really start paying attention. They're not here to produce justice. These people that got these strings behind the scenes that can manipulate it, they're not producing justice. They're not. So, in all honesty, I'm with Trump on that. Let's produce justice. If people are doing done wrong, let's make sure that they get done right. So, I think even with this case with Diddy, this is me. I just think even with this case with Diddy, people who took proper deals, um, yeah, there's some stuff that needs to be uncovered with that too. Like, what's the proper deal? What's the alternative? I honestly think F a profit deal. Just get them all up out of here. That's just me though. You know what I'm saying?
But
But
see, this is the thing. The collusion is so thick. Unless you can get cooperating parties to start telling the truth, it's never gonna. It's always gonna be a mess. You
mhm,
know,
mhm.
at the end of the day, the one thing that I keep asking people is, have I has anybody heard anything in that courtroom that doesn't sound like anything I already explained? I'm still waiting for that.
That's why I say you ain't got to say nothing because I mean, in all honesty, well, speaking of, let's get the crystal ball. Let me read your future. Somebody said you and Sloan Bella, or do we want to talk about that? Let's keep that on wraps because in all honesty, this is how their psyops work too. See, you started out saying some shit that people were like, ah, nah, you tripping, and then all of a sudden, shit start coming. They're like, wait, what? So this is how they get the public to go along with, let's say, who's the next victim, right? Or not victim, but the next boogeyman, right? Um, they have their like you say elected monster or there's the
The
acceptable monster.
acceptable monster.
They already have theirs ready. Like who's next after Diddy? Yeah, like every black man, for the most part, if you got some type of notoriety, you got some money, you're not falling in line. They're gonna have something on you so that you could be the big black boogeyman for everybody. So I honestly think somebody's time is coming up, and that's why I say I honestly want you to sit with someone, and there could be a logical reason why this person is next, and then there's also a metaphysical, spiritual reason why this person is next. Um, you and Ani, shout out to Ani Osoro.
Mm.
You and Ani got to sit down because we done already broke that down as far as like your purpose and why you, but we got to really lock down with him or whatever and kind of get some stuff out the way. But overall, trust me, y'all, people, look,
That's the hardest
people,
part.
What's the hardest part?
Go ahead. I'll say it later.
No, I was just saying, just certain people represent like it's kind of hard to say it, but like not all black people are monolith. We know that. You got different economic levels where black people are at in this country. You got different spiritualities. You got different levels as far as like they
Color.
could be Masons, they could be Rosicrucians, they could be frats, all that or whatever, right? They will use somebody though as a representation. So like I see it all the time, like Bill Cosby. Who is he a representation of? I would say, old black boule. It's like y'all get y'all stuff out of here type of deal. You get what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people didn't like that show American Gods, but it's almost like that. Where if you guys haven't seen American Gods, it's a show and it essentially talks about the pantheon of guy. It all ties in with Ephod too. But Odin was like Wednesday, the god of Wednesday, Norse day, Thor's day. Like all these days are named after gods,
Yeah.
we're gonna break that down later.
Well, you
Whatever.
can say
Uh, it, it,
demigod.
but there we go. Right. So what happens is when the people stop mentioning their names, then those guys no longer have that effective or they're not powerful like that. You get what I'm saying? So it's like the same thing. Like a Bill Cosby would represent um, a certain sector, group, or whatever. Like I said, Black Boule. Let's just say that, right? So if they're taking him down, they're sending a message. If they're and I hate to say they, meaning like we're giving these people in the power structure all this power, but they give melanated individuals perceived power. It's not even real power. Like I think Quincy Jones, and I know you say about Quincy, I'm a Jones too, though, right? Oh, thank you. Who's this?
Hey,
Oh,
ACG.
Angel, man, thank you. Appreciate that. Um, Quincy Jones said this. He said this to shout out to Zoe Williams. uh he told Zoe, he said, you get the key to the whole thing with this whole entertainment industry. You get your boys in, you get them jobs because you don't want them coming after you, wanting to rob you. You get them in, you get them placed up. You do what you need to do, and then you get as much money as you can, and then you see how much power that money can get you. Essentially, that's basically what he told a
Well,
lot of the young rappers.
and
And
shout
and, uh,
out
and in
to
reality, it's like, go ahead.
no, I was saying shout out to ACG on that comment because I totally agree.
Honestly,
Um,
I didn't see it.
well,
ACG.
no, just he was just basically
Oh, yeah,
saying,
yeah, 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 yeah. We
yeah,
say he looked at Diddy case, and there's no way, in my opinion, that he'll think Diddy's the victim of anything. In the words,
especially
not
considering that they
Trump.
used to be friends and Diddy turned on him like Jay-Z turned on Diddy.
So guess all I'm
And
saying is
he learned about him.
Even Trump Even Trump represents a certain. He's New York. Come on. So he knows he could be on the chopping block next. I mean, that's essentially what I was trying to say. I think I'm gonna do a live about that one day, just in regards to what I was just saying. But I didn't really lay it out like I wanted to because I normally write stuff out. But Trump even understands like they could be lining him up too for something. Which I mean, come on,
That's the funny thing, and that's what I hate more than anything because I think the reason why most people have a problem with Donald Trump is because he's white. Well,
right?
at least our people, like our people have been taught. And it's so wild because when I started listening to some like Jesse Jackson and Judge Joe Brown, in my opinion, they're not really the same kind of guy. Like Jesse Jackson to me is
Mm-hmm,
different than
mm-hmm,
Judge Joe Brown.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm. Oh
those
yeah,
are people with conflicting backgrounds and both black had the
yeah,
same opinion of Trump.
yeah.
And that's when I had to start paying attention because I'm like, why are people why are people so hateful? Like why do we need to make it that personal? See, all of my issues that I had regarding Trump had to do with Him being New York, me being from Philadelphia, and me understanding the politics between a first city and then a first city that was made a second city. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
There's a whole
Hmm.
lot of other stuff involved in that. And then I remember
Yeah.
those days. I was around. I was coming up at that time. But all of that has nothing to do with the fact that the reason why I don't trust him is because he's a white man and he's bad and we need to
Mm-mm.
take him down.
Mm-mm.
And that's what I hated about what the Dems were doing. Because the Dems, that was the story. Don't, you can't trust these white people. These white people, these evil, they're all racist. Meanwhile, it's white people telling them not to trust the people that might have been actually trying to help them. That's what,
Hmm.
like, that's crazy work.
Look, in
Am
my
I wrong?
opinion, no, you're not. You're right. And then look, in my opinion, Joe Biden is 1,000% worse than Trump. And peep game, I was talking to an elderly Caucasian woman, and she was like, yeah, Trump's a racist. I said, Trump's not a racist. I wouldn't expect you to say that Trump's not a racist. I said, yeah, Trump is not a racist. I said, Trump is a white man. I said, there are three people on this planet. Let's get it straight. There's white, non-white, and racist. Trump's not a racist. Trump kind of gets in where he fits in. He's a New York Democrat. He had what he had to say against um the what is it, what was it, the nine? I mean, what was it, the five, the brothers who did they
Yeah,
got
but even that,
the
even that
no,
case, even that case was a lot more complicated than they let the public know. And that's the one thing that I don't like about these hot button cases because a lot of, look at Tory. Tory's case was such a hot button case. They had every black woman in America protect black women, protect black women. Oh my God, black women. He shot. Oh my God, protect black women. Well, oh, Black Lives Matter, but black women's lives don't matter. What y'all like? It was insane. I wonder how all of that outrage looks now.
it looks ridiculous. I I was just gonna say Trump did that, but before that, he funded Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign. People
Exactly.
don't look at that. Like I said, Trump's not a racist. He's a white man. Now, a racist is a person like Joe Biden who has the ability to write policy. The crime bill, the 94 crime bill was Joe Biden's crime bill. That was very race specific. So a person like Trump, he's catering to these, but I don't consider him a racist.
But see,
He's
that's
wielding
the
his power
thing.
right now to he's wielding his power to try to produce justice. And again, I'm not a supporter. I didn't vote for him. I voted for Cornel West. Shout out to Cornel West. But I'm not against the president at all. And if he's going to produce justice, let's do it. But a real racist is not him. A real racist is a person who has that perceived power like Joe Biden did.
But that's
So
my point, though. Black people for years, for crying out loud, I voted Democrat up until these last 4 years. I voted Democrat. I'll never vote Democrat again. Not like never, never.
no.
It was instilled in us like almost upon birth. You're black, you're a Democrat.
Well,
Almost like being
That
born
was
in the
L,
South. You're Baptist.
That was
You
LBJ who
totally.
said that. He said we gonna have these Negroes for at least 50 years, maybe 200. That's what LBJ said. Because after he did what he did with the civil rights, after they murked Kennedy, and he came in and he did, but he was a straight racist too. But yeah, yeah,
I mean, that's the thing. We got so much confusion with all of these labels. If we spent more time worrying about people's character rather than worrying about the package they come in, we might not be so easily fooled.
yeah.
It's no different than with the LGBTQIA plus community. We got a lot of weirdos in that community. A gay person and a sodomite are two different things.
Mm,
But if we allow people If we allow these sodomites, if we allow these people to just put on the, oh, well, I'm gay, or oh, well, I'm trans, or oh, no, what you are is a sick bastard hiding LGBTQIA plus clothing. But until that's addressed, people let it go like that. And it's the same thing with our American politics. We got a bunch of liars that have found a way to enslave a people who deserve their freedom by tricking these people into believing that they're on their side and then telling them, hey, anybody else that has our color, they're racist and they hate you and don't trust them. Oh my God, they're the worst person in the world. Look at them. It's the same thing. Am I wrong?
Yeah. No. 10 more minutes, but all the word of the day is deprogram people. Fucking deprogram. Because yep, it's always the them against us mentality, you know.
I
When
think that's why they made the move on Martin Luther King when they made the move on him. Because by the time he figured it out and realized it, he saw the game. And then they moved him right out the way.
he said no, poor people's right. He said it ain't just black and white, it's poor people. And imagine if he would have, yeah, Martin Luther King would have been president by the 80s, and then yeah, I'd have loved to live in that timeline.
You want to know what would have been dope? If if we could erase assassinations, Martin Luther King is president and Malcolm X is vice president.
And then Malcolm X would have been president, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
no, seriously, because the where both of them were heading at the end, they were
yeah, yeah,
looking
yeah.
for real unity amongst people.
Same thing with Pac. Same thing with Biggie. If Pac was going to politicize these gangsters, and Democrat Republic, it would have been like a thug life party or something.
There's no way
Black Panther party,
there's
really.
no way Barack Hussein Obama could have ran against Tupac Shakur
Barry Soweto, you
and
mean?
won. Barry
Barry Soweto,
Santoro.
or whatever his name is. Yeah, yeah. Pac
That's
was basically on that.
which is why when I I don't understand why people don't get it. That one conversation that Kendrick put in at the end of To Pimp a Butterfly when he had that stage conversation with Tupac, and then Tupac started talking about the rich and Nat Turner and,
Hmm. Hmm.
talking about how they stopped Black Revolution from actually happening. They beat the fear of God into you before you turn 30 so that you'll be complacent. Pac said it himself. He was like, look, man, your hellraisers out there that's looking to fight, they ain't older. They not older. They young. They got everybody trained. I think that's what makes people like me and you um a problem for a lot of people because we are grown people and we are still strong and we do stand and we encourage other people our age to want to stand because the truth is if any generation should be embarrassed right now it should be our
It's just excellent.
generation, the
Oh
Gen
yeah, yeah. I
X.
say that. I say that, and that's why I'm like I'm out here finna rectify some. Joshua said MLK was the OG diddler. So what if he like white pussy? Let that man have. Claretta let him get a little white pussy on the side. Ain't nothing wrong with
See,
that.
this is the
Nah, I'm
thing. This is this no but this is the thing. People go and say that but they don't want to talk about Michelle Obama though.
oh, okay, all right, okay. We finna wrap this up.
Like if you
Oh,
going
Michelle Obama just made Obama look bad, and she was flirting with that what man.
these hoes ain't loyal.
I wonder if Obama has the same rules as me. Don't have me out here looking stupid. Because goddamn. All right, this one.
Seriously. Like, let's not start running down on Emma. If you ain't gonna run down on old Barry Santoro, then please stop talking about MLK. And what's so wrong with a heterosexual man liking straight women?
As long as he ain't like animals and kids, I'm good. We good.
That's all that
And
really matters.
Don't touch me or mine. That's it. Yeah, Gen X is. That's it. And that is true. They said Gen Xers turned 30 when we were 10, and uh, I think they were in our 40s and their 50s, and we act like we 80, 90-year old. And it's like, yeah, that's because we done been through it, and now they're running game on us. Uh, yeah, we're
Actually,
gonna
they're
talk.
using us to run game on
Well, there you go. There
ourselves.
you go. There you go. There you go. There
Because the
you go.
truth is, hip hop was the promised land. Hip hop
Hmm.
was our future. They saw how powerful it was. Who was it? Wasn't it somebody from which one of them was it that went to that meeting where they sat down with all of the people from the private penitentiaries and pretty much made everybody
Whoever
say
made it through, whoever made it through the '90s, and I mean, I ain't gonna say who, but yeah,
they're in
it's
the
big
agenda.
names. A lot of
They're
people. Yeah,
in the agenda.
yeah.
They used
Do
our
you
generation, and it's so sad because all
hold
it
on? Let me
took was
answer
a
this
little bit of
question.
money. What?
Lynn Nufo, do you like or hate white people? I don't like racists. I don't have no problems with white people. I have no problem with black people. I told you there's only three people: white, non-white, racist. I don't like racists. Go ahead.
Well, see, this is the thing. Even that question in itself, why would you ask that? As many white
Being,
people, no, I'm just saying, as
you know what
many
the fuck
white
is.
people have seen, if people have seen me spend time with, I got white godchildren in Louisiana. They're people. We're
Yeah.
people. The question is
Just
what
remember
kind
that,
of person
y'all.
you are. It has
Right.
nothing to do with your
Exactly.
color. It's your character. If we spent more time worrying about being the kings or queens of how many characters we can push out on a post and spent more time worrying about our individual character, we might not be in the problem that we're in. The simple fact that we got bad guys all over the media everywhere playing in our faces and we ain't got the common sense to be able to see that their character don't line up with the policies they say they stand for. This is on us.
All right, Lynn Newfo, you said we act racist. You act like a dumbass. So you gonna be blocked. That's pretty much
You
what it
want to
is.
know
Don't come
what's
back to it.
funny? At least 40% of our platform, community platform, is not black.
Caucasians, different races. Yeah, shout out to everybody.
Different
Like I said,
nationalities, different.
there's only three types of people. Only three types of people. And even if you're white, you don't even have to classify yourself as white. You classify yourself either white, non-white, or racist. What do you classify yourself? That guy Lynn Newfo, whatever, him, her. You
I
probably
don't
classify
know.
yourself as
Wait, listen
racist.
to me. I just want to put FOMA on the end of his name and tell him go on.
All right,
Yeah,
5 more minutes.
lymphoma. With the
Lymphoma.
cancer. That's who you
Lymphoma.
are.
Because you are cancer, right? Races are cancer. How about that?
He's coming in here talking about some lymphoma.
Yeah, right. All right. You were supposed to have went live, but I guess you pushed it back, and I'm not
Well,
mad.
there
I
was a
was
reason
waiting.
why I had
Yeah,
got a
I get
confirmation
it.
of some really bad news today.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, well, I spent a lot of the day praying and I've been doing a lot of research and there's a lot of things going on and I needed to send some love out to some people that are a family who lost
Hmm.
someone very special. And
Hmm.
I would like to be able to address it.
Yeah,
Uh,
just wait. I would
but
just
I would
wait.
like to wait because right now, what I will say is this, as a mother who's lost a grown child, you know, my son Giovanni would have been 32 years old this year. I don't care if they're taking out by unnatural or natural. When you lose a grown child, it hurts differently than anything else because those are the children that you're expecting to bury you, not the other way around. You know,
Right.
when you lose a baby or a small child or something like that, that's one thing. But to lose an adult child, it's a complete different pain. So what I'm going to ask in this moment is that everyone just pray for the entire McKnight family
Hmm.
because that was
Hmm.
a very, very, very special young man. And
Hmm.
regardless of what was going on. Beautiful wife, wonderful, adoring mother, wonderful siblings. And I just wanted to spend my day going into Sabbath just praying for my family. So I want to
And
thank you guys. I pushed it back. I'm not saying that I won't push it
yeah.
forward. Probably gonna do another live at some point in time. But considering that they were papering, his picture all over, and for me, it was where I saw it come up. I didn't like it because I'm like,
Mhm.
this is salacious, and I don't want to see this go the
Yeah.
wrong way. So I didn't want to be online while all of that was going on. I didn't want to have to give, you know, it, it-
Yeah.
I'm
No.
learning. I'm learning to pick
No.
my
No. No.
moments.
Yeah. No. No. As you should. Don't even trip. I think people can't do nothing but respect that. And that's why I was like, yeah, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And I understand. I told you the homie went to high school with. Rest in peace to
Well,
my
he
guy
just
Brandon,
lost
man.
one. Actually, was
Yeah.
able this
So,
week. Yeah.
uh-huh. Yeah. So just prayers up in general. And that's pretty much what it is. Like, just everybody, be thankful you got life. You know what I mean? For real. Uh and yeah, I'm gonna shut it down in a second. But I guess people they're gonna probably want to hear some things from you. You already told them about the Jaguar right on sister, so I think that's what they need to
Oh
like
well,
kind
no,
of
the pods should be going
yeah
up this weekend
yeah
because
yeah.
there's a
Especially with
lot.
everything especially everything that's done transpired in the past shit, even 48 hours. This
Well,
is
see, that's the
crazy.
thing. It doesn't make any. That's why I don't understand why everyone is making a big deal about these people that are camped out at the courthouse, or the people that can't afford to go that are waiting for people to call them and tell them things so they can have things to say on their channel. Regardless of all of
Yeah,
that, the truth is nobody really outside of major mass news media, nobody really should be wait for the week to be done.
right.
And that's pretty much how we're going to be doing it. Whatever we have to say about this, the recaps is going to be on Jaguar Right Uncensored podcast. They'll be going up during the weekends because I need to watch and pay attention. See, I'm
Exactly.
not I'm not playing with these people. I'm in a whole nother league.
Auntie Leia, put your link in the chat. Everybody going over to there. We about to shut down here, but she about to go over there and do her thing. So y'all, let's go on over to Auntie Leah, kicking it with Auntie Leah, and y'all show her some love. Y'all subscribe to her channel. You got 100 some people in there. She should have 100 something more people over there or whatever. So yeah, and we might pop in, right? Come on, you never
Why
know.
not? Who knows?
I'm about to go handle my candle, but yeah, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. Any last words you got to say to the people?
Yeah. Don't believe the hype.
There you
Worry
go.
about the quality of someone's character rather than the quality of their couture. Care about the law. Care about what's real. And just stop believing the hype, man. Like this, I told y'all before. I told y'all when we got back from Mar-a-Lago, it was going to be a madman all the way up until the trial, and when the trial went, it's going to hit another gear. Have I steered anyone wrong?
See, your commentary on this, you got to tie in the uh, Perez, the Megan, the Tory stuff. It's all there
Yeah, but
too.
see, that's the thing. You gotta wait. You
Yeah.
gotta wait. It's like
No,
trying to force a, a, a orgasm.
shit. Oh, damn. I was gonna say something.
No, it's like
Because
no,
that's
but
what it
that's the
sounds
thing.
like.
That's what Have I don't know, ladies. Trying to force an orgasm is not fun. It's not fun. It's
Okay.
actually frustrating. You sitting there trying to get to it, trying to get to it, trying to
This,
get to it, and then
this
by
is
the
a
time
family
it
show.
happens, huh?
This is a family show. You're doing too much. I said this is a family show. You're doing too much. Let me sign off. Let everybody go to
Well, no,
unsee.
I was just no. What I'm saying is that's what this whole thing is like. It's all this build up, all of this build up, and all of this
Okay.
build up, and it is No.
All
Let
right,
let
Jay.
things flow naturally.
All right. That's what it is. We're going to end it off like that. Y'all go to Auntie Leah. We'll be over there. Y'all know what it is. So I'm Wolf Burgundy and I'm out this piece. All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming through.